Hey, welcome to my midlife crisis. This is Hairbrush Poetry Jam, and today I'm going to read for you a poem I wrote called Something to Prove. This tells a story that took place mostly while I was in college. It started off as a kind of argument between me and a couple of my friends and a couple of guys who were friends with he was my fiance at the time. He's my husband now, but we had a rocky few years before we got married, and we stayed friends the whole time, and we had a very tight friendship the whole time. And part of that reason is because of this story right here. So I'm going to go ahead and let you hear the poem, and then I can tell you a bit more about it afterwards. But here it is. I hope you enjoy it. Something to Prove. We can be the Droogettes, Misty said hopefully, but a Droog isn't something that a girl can be. Why not? I asked. Tell me just what they said, and she spit back the words they have put in her head. She said a Droog is a kind of thing girls cannot know because there are some places a woman can't go. Now all women here are still fighting a war, and we pick up the mission that's set down before us, so in that moment I knew I had to prove that a woman could understand being a Droog. My plan was simple. I'd follow one rule. Anywhere he would go, I would go too. So I found sterner stuff and brought more than enough because it's about loyalty, not about love. When he needed a ride, I would hand him my keys. When he orders a burger, I had fries and cheese, and the sign on my door always says vacancy. When he's lost and exhausted from wandering the streets, when he calls my name, there is one thing I say, and that's I'm on my way any time of the day. And you know I've got plans, I've got places to be, but I'm here for it anytime he has a need. I won't hesitate, give it no extra thought, and I'll tell you now some of the victories it brought. I scouted the lands where he buried Sapphire and slipped him a knife so he'd cut free from Siren. I gave him the sword he used to slay the dragon. You cut out the mouth when the tongue starts to wag, and at the gates of hell I followed him through, said to everyone else, I'll do this without you. No questions asked, doesn't matter the task. If he's holding a shovel, it's gloves that I'll grab. If you pause for a moment, the job may sound frightening. He shows up with gasoline, I bring the lightning. Some nights were dark and left my light heart reeling. Why, it was my duty to break this glass ceiling. But from this day forward, let no man conclude that a woman can't understand being a Droog. Okay, so there's some references in there to some things that happened when we were in college and some different kinds of struggles that we had and some toxic people that we got sort of mixed up with and things like that. All of those stories will make sense in context with the books that it's going to be in. I do tell all of those stories. So I'm not the kind of person who is like a woman can do anything a man can do and just as well. Because like I feel strongly that there are differences between masculine energy and feminine energy and that they are really useful for different things. I think there are a lot of things that women can do really well that are really difficult for men, and I think there are things that men can do really well that are difficult for women. They're different. They're not the same. But I see gender as a spectrum. There's the masculine energy on one side and feminine energy on the other side, and a lot of people are, somewhere along that spectrum. There's a lot of different varieties of ways that someone can identify, and the thing is that it's like so dangerous to just make some kind of big generalization based on a judgment call about a certain gender, because we're all individual people and everyone is like good at certain things and struggles at different things, and it's just like really insulting anytime someone makes a generalization about you. So I'm not the kind of person who's like a woman can do anything a man can do, but I am the kind of person who's like, you don't get to decide what I'm capable of. Okay, so now it's time for highlights from the daily report. These are bits from social media posts that I do throughout the week, so these are just kind of little snapshots of things from my lifestyle. Here we go. My morning coffee keeps getting usurped by morning video conferences, but I can't complain. The Great Pizza Challenge of 2021 is getting challenging. The Madness Wars is done. 11 years, countless hours, love, and insanity. Let's see what the world does with it. Appropriate, schmopriate. I miss applauding. I'm considering rigorous applause as my new default method of giving praise. Okay, so there's only one thing left to do. I think like a scholar and spin like a baller, so hit the subscribe if you care what I holler. The bell and the like, and you'll show me some love. My jam is a poem. I don't ask for much because who needs a microphone? I have a hairbrush.